Adding a new bill item into a quotation. We click Add New Bill Item, which then takes us to an area where we can start to enter the details. So we enter the description of the bill item. So we'll say to supply and install reception counter, and we put the general details of the unit in there. We then need to say the unit measure, so we'll say each. And now we need to build up this item by using combination of these elements. So we'll start off with sheet materials. To enter a sheet material into here, we simply press the Control key, keep it pressed, and then hit the letter A, which gives us a new line. And now we need to search for the material that we want to use. So I'm going to put EST and then the @ symbol, then hit the Tab key. That will then give me a list of all the materials beginning with EST that we've got on the system. So if I want a basic 8x4 18mm MDF, find it in the listing, select it, say use selected item. Then goes into there. We can then put the details in, so we could say it's total sheets, the length 2.4 by 1.22, and let's say we want 3 sheets. Because we're using a sheet sizes, we don't actually need the wastage, so we can take that off. If we wanted to enter materials piece by piece, so if I enter some MDF again, I use the same material. I could then say this is a top panel and put the finish size in of 1.2 by 0.61 and leave the wastage at 15% or increase it to a different percentage. We're going to stick with the 3 sheets there, so to remove that item I just click anywhere on there and then hit the F12 button, and that will then take that out of there. If we want to enter some cubic timbers, we click the cubic timber tab. Same principle, Control A to get a new line, EST, put the @ symbol in, hit the Tab key, and then pick the material that we want. We'll say this is the front lipping. Size, let's say 25mm by 38mm. Length 1.2, and we'll have one of them. The wastage will increase from the 40% to say 60%. To enter hinges or draw runners, we would go to the ironmongery or hardware section. So simply click on the button there. Again, Control A to get the line. Now if we don't know the reference code, I could go to the element, put the @ symbol in, and put hinge, then the @ symbol, so I've trapped the word hinge by the 2 @ symbols. Hit the Tab key, and that will ask the system to locate any hinges on the system. So we can then click the relevant hinge that we want. It's keeping me up to date, saying that the last price for this was on the 18th of January 2017. Any information, I just agree with that. I could then go and amend that item, update the price, or just go with it for now. So we'll have 4 of those. At any stage we could go back to any of these elements to change the quantities. I might decide that actually I only want 2.5 sheets from there, so I simply overtype the quantity. And you can see below here we're getting all the materials added to give us a running total thus far. To add labour into this, we'll go to the Labour tab. We can either use a template or just add them in. Let's have a look at the template. So we could say, yeah, we want some general machining, a bench joiner, some polishing and labourer, some site fixing. Item selected. And I then just go through and put the quantities that I want in there. So we'll have 4 hours machining, bench joiner, we'll put 16 hours, spray and polishing, a day, 8 hours, site fixer. We might have say an hour for 2 men. Once we've entered all the various elements, we can then click the item summary, which brings us back to the main screen, so we can look at how the price is stacking up so far. If we're happy with that, we just click close save, and then we've got the choice of saving the item and putting the markup on globally at the end of the quotation, saving the item and putting a selling price on now, or we can say it's not complete. So we'll say it's complete and we'll add the markup later. We want 1, and in that goes into our quotation. And we can then label this in the bill item so it appears in the relevant place in the quotation. So we'll say it's O2 fittings item 01. If I want to view this item again or make some amendments, I simply double click on it. The system will warn me that it has been completed, and saying that if I want to amend it, I click amend, or if I just want to view it, we view the details. So we'll say we want to amend it. It calls it back up. I can then go back and change any of these items that I want or add more in. So let's say we wanted to increase the bench joiner time, say to 24 hours. Then go back to the item summary, close save, complete cost, and add the markup later. Then we return back to the quotation.